Good morning and Happy New Year. My name is Kim Koblank and I am the Ronning Branch Librarian and the One Book Siouxland Coordinator for Siouxland Libraries. It's my pleasure to kick off the new year by sharing the 2025 One Book Siouxland title. One Book Siouxland is Siouxland Libraries' community-wide reading program that fosters discussions and learning together through the shared experience of reading. Siouxland Libraries then supports these efforts through a month of programming based around the themes of the selected book. Each year, the One Book Siouxland title is selected with the help of community members. We start with a list of 10 to 15 potential titles that our selection committee will read, and then we pare them down to a short list of 3. The 3 titles are then read by an advisory committee who ultimately help select the title for the year. We want to thank our 2025 selection committee members, Joel Rosenthal, Jeff Schmidt, Amber Petman, Heidi Willett, Ashley Ridout Norris, Julie Eide, Scott McKercher, and Kim Awadala, and our advisory committee members, Jill Tenhaken, Nikki Dewin, Denise DePaulo, Denise Tucker, Julie Ashworth, and Vernon Brown. And of course, all the library and city staff that have dedicated their time to making One Book Siouxland happen every year. We're excited to announce that the 2025 One Book Siouxland title is Vanished in Vermilion, the real story of South Dakota's most infamous cold case by Lou Raguse. We're honored to have Lou as our featured author for the 8th One Book Siouxland. Vanished in Vermilion chronicles the 1971 disappearances of 17-year-olds Pam Jackson and Sherry Miller. Lou extensively covered the case for KELOLAND News from 2005 to 2008. The book results from hundreds of interviews and flips the script on typical investigation stories, revealing the intricate details of the mystery that had haunted South Dakota for half a century. The advisory committee chose this title because of the detail Lou put into his writing after thorough research, how journalism crafted his book, and the local story. We are so excited and grateful to have Lou here today to tell us more about Vanished in Vermilion and his background. Please give a warm welcome to Lou Raguse.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, thank you very much to the Siouxland Library folks and the community of Sioux Falls for this incredible honor, selecting Vanish in Vermilion as the 2025 One Book Siouxland selection. I'm Lou Raguse. I'm currently a reporter for KARE 11 News, the NBC affiliate in Minneapolis, but I actually started my career here in Sioux Falls as a reporter for KELOLAND. I was the Cops and Courts reporter, and that's where I first became involved in this story, the disappearance in 1971 of Pam Jackson and Sherry Miller, and the cold case investigation that resulted more than 30 years later. Obviously, this story stayed with me much longer than the 3 years that I spent here in Sioux Falls. In addition, I actually met my wife while working here. She was a reporter at the time at KDLT. So to say that this community has had a lasting impact on my life would be an understatement. I'm so excited for One Book Siouxland to expose Vanished in Vermilion to more readers and for the conversations that will result from that. In 1971, when Pam and Sherry disappeared from the Vermilion area, not nearly enough was done at that time to look for them. When the state of South Dakota reopened the case in 2004 as a cold case, the investigators and law enforcement personnel at that time did spend a lot of time and effort on the case, but unfortunately the majority of it was in the wrong direction. They ended up charging a man for a crime that never even occurred. And so that's what makes this story different than anything that I've read, different than your typical true crime stories or even wrongful prosecution stories, because, again, a man was charged with a murder that never happened. So what led up to that? That's what led my quest for answers. And one closing thought, my search for answers was exponentially harder in the state of South Dakota because of the lack of good data practices and public access to documents as far as the laws are in this state. So I hope that among the many conversations that result from One Book Siouxland and Vanished in Vermilion, I hope that it also ignites public interest in pushing for more government accountability and access. So once again, thank you to Siouxland Libraries and the community of Sioux Falls for this great honor. And I'll be around if there are any more questions when we're done.
Thank you so much, Lou, for being here today and being this year's author. Vanished in Vermilion is a remarkable and fascinating read. I read it shortly after it came out and couldn't stop talking about it with my coworkers. It was a lot of fun to discuss. We do have it available for checkout at all 13 Siouxland Libraries locations. So you can go to the branch and check it out there, or you can go online to Libby or Hoopla and check it out on ebook or audiobook. When you check out the physical book, you will get a discussion question guide that you can grab with it, and then you can take that to your book club or your group of friends and discuss the book. It just helps you guide you through the reading and discussing in case you're running out of topics. It has some really good questions to lead you. And we encourage you to read the book early and attend our 5 programs that we have based on the book's themes. We're going to be partnering with community members, podcast hosts, and subject matter experts to discuss current cold case issues, crime reporting, evidence gathering, presentation, and use. So we'll start out in April with our One Book kickoff event on April 5th at the Downtown Library. And we'll have sessions on the court of public opinion, missing and murdered Indigenous women, and crime reporting. And the people presenting that will be podcast host Local Lou, award-winning artist Jerry Fogg, and a panel of South Dakota journalists. And in following weeks, we'll have Lily Mendoza with the Red Ribbon Skirt Society leading a discussion about missing and murdered Indigenous women, children, and Two-Spirit. We'll have our Siouxland Libraries created Crime or No Crime event where guests can come and test out their investigative skills to decide if a crime was really committed or not by looking at evidence from firsthand accounts, social media posts, and more. We'll also have a Justice and Evidence panel that will feature local experts from law enforcement, Augustana, and SDSU on the psychology of false memory and evidence gathering and how that's used in a trial. And then we'll wrap it up, of course, with our author talk with Lou Raguse at the Sioux Falls Convention Center on April 24th. So we encourage you to register for and attend these programs and engage with the book's themes and make the most of One Book Siouxland. You can find more information at siouxlandlib.org/one-book. And that's all I have for today. If we have any questions for either me or Lou, please let us know.
For Lou, would you be able to tell us a little bit about what the research process looks like for a project like this?
Well, the research process for this case in particular was perhaps a little bit different because of the age of the case. The girls went missing in 1971, so I kind of prioritized talking with people first, particularly people that were around in 1971, and that was the right choice. Became obvious right away because unfortunately a lot of the people I interviewed passed away in the process of writing the book and weren't even there to see the finished product. Besides interviews, and when I say I did hundreds of interviews, I probably interviewed 100 people. Several of them I interviewed multiple times, so it really added up. Also, cross-referencing things with documentation was very important, and that's where I reference public access to public documents and police reports, which is very difficult in the state of South Dakota. The Attorney General's office under Marty Jackley did not allow me to see any of the documents. When there was a change in administration, Attorney General Ravnsborg finally granted me access to the case files with the support of the families that are involved in the story, Pam Jackson's family, Sherry Miller's family, and even the Licken family. And so once I had access to the documents, then I'm able to compare memories, because when you're talking about a case that's that old, many people are remembering things different than things they've said in the past. And so that's how I got it down to be as accurate as it possibly could be when you're talking about something that is that old. I'll mention that the Vermilion Police Department was fantastic, and the Clay County Sheriff's Office was fantastic as far as offering access to everything. Thank you.